Today we have the Honorable Nate Horner, the Minister of Agriculture for Alberta, and he is here today to talk to us about the pilot project CFIA is running here in Lloydminster. And so thank you so much for coming to us and talking to us about this, Nate.
Sure, no, it's my pleasure. It's a pilot we're pretty proud of, and we hope to learn some great things from it. So we're all very excited.
Okay, so Nate, kind of tell us a little bit about what CFIA is kind of hoping to do, the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, and kind of what they're hoping to do here in Lloyd and what they're looking to get out of this pilot.
So a long-standing issue, I've definitely heard about it for most of my life in Alberta, is the interprovincial movement of meat and processed foods. Right now, that's completely in the federal domain. So unless you're at a federally inspected facility, you can't move your product back and forth across provincial lines. So what we're trying to do with Lloydminster specifically, we're saying, look, we know this is an issue. We know that CFIA is going to need to make some changes if we're ever going to progress on this file. Let's see if we can't figure it out with a border town like Lloydminster. Focus on that and take lessons learned and try to apply them more broadly across the country. So that's the plan. So this pilot launched on the 19th of January. It's a 2-year pilot, and it's going to be administered by the Lloydminster Chamber of Commerce, and there'll be the regulatory oversight by the Saskatchewan Health Authority, and then CFIA will obviously be very involved tracing down any complaints or issues that might arise. But the idea is, let's see how this works in a Lloydminster specific scenario, and then see what we can apply everywhere else.
And then, Nate, how is this pilot project going to affect producers and businesses here in Lloydminster?
It's a major inconvenience, and we hear about it a lot in this office. You know, what can be done to take away some of the red tape. Let's have some more common sense principles. Let's look to align ourselves with our neighboring jurisdictions. We can take some of the heavy lifting off the table for CFIA by adopting some of the same rules between provinces. So that I'm hoping that'll be some of the recommendation that comes out of this. I guess this came from direct negotiations and conversations with the federal Minister of Ag. This is one of the things we've had on the agenda for quite a while now. And they are looking to do potentially 3 more of these pilots across Canada. I don't have the locations in front of me, but I believe one between Ontario and Quebec, and definitely one in the Maritimes, but also trying to find lessons learned and specific scenarios. But people, if you have a business on one side and you can't sell to half of the customers in the same town, you can definitely feel the frustration. So I think just as we're moving towards more of everybody really wants to know where their food comes from, how it's produced. We have a lot of good regulations in place, but we need to find some common sense gives to make sure that we can feed each other on both sides of the border and create more opportunities for these fledgling businesses. The federally inspected plants, they're the big guys for the most part. There's a lot of people that want to get in on this business, and we want to make it so that they can, and we think we can do that safely.
And for the common consumer here in Lloyd, kind of what would they be able to expect, especially, and for people in and around the Lloyd area, what will they expect to kind of see changing over these next 2 years because of this pilot program, and just how it's going to be different from how it is normally?
And not being a Lloyd resident myself, I would expect what you would see, hopefully, would be maybe more availability of different product, depending if you're on the east side of the town or the west. And I think over time you could expect to maybe even see that pricing could change as well, just because you could pull more product from more directions and have more competition. The pilot may be too short to realize all of those changes, but I think in the short term they can expect to just see maybe some happier businesses and some more competition and maybe more product on the shelf.
Thank you so much for all the information, Nate, and we hope that this is a successful project and can help producers and consumers across the board here in Alberta and also, of course, with Saskatchewan.
100%. Thank you for the time, Thomas.